Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum everyone. Mariam Khushi from BS Zoology 3rd semester is here. I'm going to present about transpiration. The contents are definition of transpiration, process of transpiration, types of transpiration, advantages of transpiration, and the last one is disadvantages of transpiration. Now the first one is definition of transpiration. Transpiration is the process of water movement from a plant and its evaporation from aerial parts such as leaves, stems and flowers. And the second point is water is necessary for plants, but only a small amount of water taken up by the roots is used for growth and metabolism. The remaining water, 97 to 99.5%, is removed or lost by the transpiration and guttation. Now, what actually happens? The excessive water that is taken up by the roots is evaporated or lost evaporated or lost by the aerial parts. This process is actually called transpiration. And about 97 to 99.5% of taken up water is lost by transpiration. The next, in this figure, we can easily observe that water taken up by the roots travels to the whole body of the plants, and finally the water evaporated or transpires by the leaves of the plant body. Next is the process of transpiration. Transpiration is the process in which plant releases the water in the form of moisture and water vapors. The second point is the roots consume some amount of water from the soil and the rest evaporates in the atmosphere. In simple words, it is the process in which water evaporates in the atmosphere from the plant, leaves and other parts. The process in which the excessive water of the plant body is released by the leaves or by the stems or by the flowers from the plant body in the atmosphere is actually called the transpiration process. Simply we can say that the evaporation of water from the aerial parts of the body of the plant is called transpiration. And from this figure we can easily observe the water taken up by the roots travels to the whole body, to the stems and leaves, and finally the water evaporates. The next point is the types of transpiration. Sorry. There are three types of transpiration depending upon the organs through which the process of transpiration is processed. The first one is stomatal transpiration. The evaporation of water through stomata is called stomatal transpiration. Now, what are the stomata? Stomata are the tiny pores in the leaves. The tiny pores in the leaves are called stomata through which the water is transpires. And about 90%, 80 to 90% of water that is lost by the plant body is through stomatal transpiration. In figure, we can easily observe all the stomatal transpiration. The next one is cuticular transpiration. The evaporation of water by the cuticles. Cuticles are the impermeable covering present on the leaves and stems. These are present on stems and leaves as well. These cuticles are present on the leaves and stems as well, and the transpiration through these cuticles is called cuticular transpiration. And about 20% of transpiration in plants is processed by cuticles. And the third one is lenticular transpiration. The transpiration of water of plant body to the lenticels is called lenticular transpiration. It is about 3%, and it is the very small amount of water is reduced or evaporated by the lenticels. Lenticels are the teeny openings present on the woody bark. So the water is about 3% or very less amount of water is reduced or evaporated by the lenticels. Now the next one is advantages of transpiration. It helps in the exchange of gases. It helps in sending out excessive absorbed water by the plants. It helps in the absorption and distribution of water in plants. It provides coolness to the plant body. Osmotic balance of the cell is maintained by the process of transpiration. Now we know that the exchange of gases in plants, the photosynthesis process, and other processes like Krebs cycle, and all these cycles or metabolic processes or gases exchange, all these processes require the water. So water is also helpful, transpiration is also helpful in all these processes, including gases of exchange of gases. The next point is sending out excessive absorbed water by the plants. Now what happens, the roots absorb the excess water from the soil, and that excess water is absorbed by the transpiration or evaporates by the transpiration. So transpiration in this way is very important for the plant body. So the next point is it helps in the absorption and distribution. Transpiration also helps in the absorption of water in the plant body and distribution of water in the plant body for all the processes of growth and metabolism. And the next point is it provides coolness. Also transpiration provides the coolness to the plant body. When the water transpires from the plant body, the it feels cooling, that provides cooling in return to the plant body. The next and the most important point is osmotic balance of the cell. Transpiration is very important for the osmotic balance of the cells present in the plant body. It includes the turgidity and all these things. Now the next one is disadvantages of transpiration. The wilting or loss of turgidity is quite common during the noon due to the transpiration being higher than the rate of the water absorption. When the transpiration rate becomes higher than the water absorption rate, the process of wilting occurs. The process of wilting occurs, due to which the plant body faces very many problems, such as it reduces its growth, it reduces its yield and wastage of energy, and also reduces the availability of water for different mechanisms, processes, and growths in the plant body. So all these are the disadvantages. With advantages are disadvantages always there. So wilting is the main thing in the loss of rigidity and transpiration, that